Hello, it's Bruce from Big Plant again, you've probably guessed. Today we're talking about Dasylirions. Dazzlerians are a wonderful group of plants. They're not aliens from another planet that Captain T. Kirk would have to deal with. They're actually a wonderful genus of plants from Mexico and southwestern United States. There's around 23 species in the world, but for this purpose we're talking about 4. 4's all I've got. So let's make those do. They're wonderful things if you've got a drought, if you've got a hot garden, if you've got a windy garden, coastal, roof terrace, roof garden, dry, hot, urban garden. These are perfect. They'll take the drought and they'll take the wind, and they love the sun. We've got quite a bit of diversity amongst that. We've got really spiky, really narrow leaves, and we've got quite broad leaves. We can get trunks and we can have quite stout bases. So let me run you through very quickly. One of my favourites is Dazzelium longissimum, sometimes called longissimum quadrangularis. Bit of a mouthful. That's because these long, very resistant leaves are pretty much square shaped, quad. So it's a cool plant. It actually grows on a head that gets almost 2 meters across. Eventually it can get a trunk. And then when it does that, it looks quite similar to the Australian grass trees, but it is actually a Dazzylirion. Very beautiful, one of my favorites, properly hardy. We can move along to Dazzylirium Seratapogium. Dazzylirium Seratapogium, like this, and its bigger brother here, are dark green. They have thorns along the side of the leaves, and they have darkened brown edges to the leaves. This is normal, it's not a problem. It's supposed to be there. I'll come to that in a minute. This one gets a stout trunk and very slowly grows up, but it's not as prevalent to form a trunk as longissimum. We can move along to one that's very similar. It's called Wheelery. Wheelery, as the name suggests, wheels a bit, turns. It's usually a glaucous colour, which is a bluey grey, but the leaves differ from Seratapogium in that they're more chaotic and they twist a little bit as they grow. Also, the brown tips to the leaves are slightly longer and tend to curl over. Now I can tell you why they do that. Both Seratapogium and Wheelery are quite exaggerated in this. Some of the others more, some less so. But what it's for, where they grow in the very arid regions, there is very little rain, but there is quite a lot of humidity at night. Morning dew cools down very much at night and then warms up during the day. During the cool of the night, water droplets form on the tips of these brown bits. They absorb moisture, and as the moisture develops from a little bit of humidity and tiny droplets, it becomes a large droplet which subsequently runs down the leaf and waters the plant. Clever, eh? We'll move along to one of my real favourites. I like them all, but this is fantastic. This is called longifolium. Easily confused with longissimum, but longifolium has broad, almost strap-like leaves. And longifolium can form a corky, quite large trunk and look a lot like a cordline, if you're familiar with those, although it's much chunkier, much slower growing. Very architectural and very beautiful. There is another one. I said 4, so I've gone to 3. Unfortunately, I haven't got a bigger specimen of this, but this one is called glaucophyllum. Now, if you want to see big ones of these, you need to go down to somewhere like Cornwall and visit a wonderful garden like Tremenier down near Penzance, and you'll see this growing in the ground. In fact, I was inspired by that garden, so I think you should all go. It's a wonderful Dazzylirium, similar colour to Wheelery, but it has a appearance more like Seratapogium, only much more so. It's very stout, very resistant, very sturdy. So that's one to look for. We are growing them from seed, as you can see, and these are a year old, so maybe next year we'll have some nice plants. So all in all, a really good group of plants, great for hot, sunny, dry conditions and windy conditions. And did you know, well, you probably don't, I didn't know until a few minutes ago, I just Googled it. I'm not super clever, I do cheat. Dasylirion, it means hairy lily in Latin. Who'd have thought? Bye for now, Bruce at Big Plant.